Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Playdates and Travels, and today I'm doing a different type of video because I wanted to celebrate something that is important to me, which is my culture. Today is October 15th as you're watching this, which means that we are at the tail end of Hispanic Heritage Month. My friend Christine asked me to be a part of this because she knew that I was Hispanic, and she wanted to get together a couple of YouTubers to celebrate this fun thing that is being Hispanic, being Latina. So I am doing this video today just to share with you a little bit about my culture and how I grew up and a little bit of my upbringing. So a lot of people that watch my channel don't know what I am. I'm actually a mix of things, but I am primarily Puerto Rican and Cuban. So I most identify with those two countries, or Puerto Rico's not a country, but you know what I mean. It is part of the United States, but if you ever have been to Puerto Rico, it is primarily Spanish speaking in terms of the population that lives there. My family that lives there barely speaks any English, so it's a lot of speaking in Spanish with them. Or in my case, I have always been the type that I don't feel comfortable speaking fluently in Spanish, so a lot of times I will actually speak to you back in English. So that is just how it is in my family. I know that everyone is different. My sister actually went to school for Spanish, and because she learned it the proper way in school and actually studied abroad in Spain, she speaks it fluently now and has no trouble thinking in Spanish and speaking that way. And a lot of times if I have to like correct grammar or something like that, I ask my sister versus my mother, who my mother very much speaks like Spanglish. Like she speaks Spanish to her family, but to everyone else she just starts to speak like a combination of Spanish and English, which is a very typical thing in this country. So I'm just talking about this a little bit today because it is a fun thing to celebrate. This past month there have been celebrations all month long. My daughter's school actually has been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month all month, which I really appreciated. Listening in on the Zoom calls, she has like different music sessions, and they will actually be learning different Spanish songs, or she's been learning about the culture. They learned about Mexico the other day. They learned, they're learning this week about, I think the day this video is coming out, they're actually taking a virtual field trip to a street in downtown Los Angeles, which is called Olivera Street, which is primarily like a Mexican dominated scene. If you've ever been to Olivera Street in downtown Los Angeles, there are a lot of like street vendors, and it very much feels like you're going to Tijuana or something like that. So I've been there before, and my daughter's gonna go on a virtual field trip. So what I wanted us to talk about was just things that make me tick. I very much have come from a very loving background. Hispanics are very similar to other people in that we are all about food. So you guys have heard me talk on my channel a lot about how I'm such a big foodie, and growing up was no exception. My parents are very loving and also very much foodies themselves, or at least my father is. He will go here and actually go to like 5 different burger places just to find the best one in LA, and watches a lot of food shows to find out the best spot for that as well. Like that's just one example. But growing up, my mother was the predominant cook in my family, which meant that she cooked for us every day after school, and we had a lot of rice and beans, arroz con pollo, and I really enjoy that to this day. My kids are a mix. Obviously, they're half Hispanic, half white, so they do not so much enjoy rice and beans. My son does. He's very much my Latino boy, but my daughter is very anglicized, and she doesn't even like beans. She doesn't even like frijoles, as we call them, or habichuelas, which is the red beans, which I love. She just likes white rice, the Asian white rice, the sticky rice. Otherwise, she doesn't want to eat rice. And I'm just like, that is not our culture. So I'm just telling you a little bit about what we love. I also love plátanos, which to you might be called plantains. They're very similar to bananas, but they're sweeter, and you can cook them in frying oil, which is what we typically do. You can either have maduros, which are the sweet kind. You can have tostones. My son literally ripped my bow off my ears, by the way, so if you guys see me tinkering with it, it's because I'm trying to wear ears that just broke right before I started filming, and I'm too lazy to fix these. These are ears I made myself, so it doesn't matter. I can literally, I'm just gonna take it off, but I can literally fix my bow and put it back on afterwards. It's all good. But at any rate, yeah, so those are the things that I love, I grew up with. Tostones are my favorite. Those are the hard plantains, or whatever part of the country you come from, they might say it differently. And they are basically the yellow hard ones. I'll insert a photo if I can find one online. And that is my favorite. That is my soft spot. The other day I had Cuban cuisine because I did grow up in Miami. I've talked about that on my channel before, which is very much a Cuban culture down there, very strong. It's a melting pot of different cultures, which is why I grew up very open to different ethnicities and different cultures because of where I grew up. And Miami has so many different places represented there, which is really nice to move to LA and other parts of the country. I lived in New York a little bit, and you see that some cultures aren't as well represented as others, but in Miami I had exposure to a lot of different things, and it's part of what made me who I am today. And one of those things is just being able to go to Calle Ocho, and you know, I grew up with salsa dancing, and my favorite actually isn't salsa dancing. My favorite is merengue. And so you do a little merengue dancing. So I really like all of that, which comes from the Cuban culture, that has roots in that. And my best friends growing up were from El Salvador, from Cuba. I had friends from Honduras. I had friends from Mexico, you name it. So these are things that I've branched out to, and I think they make me part of who I am today. This whole past month has been about celebrating Hispanic culture, and I feel like it's one of those things that doesn't get talked about on TV as much as possible. There is that show now that I keep seeing previews for, One Day at a Time. I don't watch network TV, but I do appreciate that they represent the Hispanic culture. Growing up, one of the only things that I could represent and identify with was the movie West Side Story. And my father is obsessed with that storyline, that play, that show, and he married a Maria. My mother's name is Maria, my sister's name is Maria, so they always sang that song at home, thinking that it was for her. It was for my family. He'd be like, Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria, which is a song from West Side Story. For me, the song that I resonated toward the most, I want to say, is the one that wasn't. It was one of my little doses of Spanish culture that I was exposed to, and that is, of course, the song with A Boy Like That just came to my mind. A boy like that would kill your mother. A boy like that would kill your father. One of your own kind, stick to your own kind. Sorry, okay, so the actress that portrays that role, though, is Puerto Rican, and she is someone that I grew up with, Rita Moreno, and I have always tried to identify toward Spanish icons because there aren't that many Hispanic icons. And so that's why that show, One Day at a Time, which also stars Rita Moreno, and Justine, it's one of those shows that I appreciate is on TV because there just isn't that much representation. I actually used to be an actor, and back when I used to act, a lot of the roles for Hispanics, they were so reduced, but they were limited to, you were either going to be the gangster type, and you had to be like heart street thug type, which you guys have known me from my channel now. I'm very much not like that. And when I try to portray that, I come off a little as corny. It was either that or you had to be the nurse type, which I did get cast as. I am very happy for roles like the new reincarnation of Roswell, which they stuck to the original storyline and made her Mexican. The main character, Liz, is Mexican, and they focus on those issues, and they also they have actual Latina actresses representing themselves on TV, which is really nice because a lot of the historical roles, Hispanic actors were portraying white people, or they were portraying Greek, Mediterranean, different things like that. I did go to Greece when I was graduating from college, and I remember I got stopped on the street and they started speaking to me in Greek because the locals thought I was one of them, and I am not, but that happens to me a lot. A lot of people just don't know what I am. So that's why I did want to say in my video that I am Latina, and I do really appreciate that we talk about it on TV sometimes, we talk about it on YouTube sometimes. And when my friend Christine said, let's make a video just celebrating the culture in general, I was like, I can definitely put together a quick video for this because it's important. And representation is important. Representation, it does matter. And celebrating each other's diversity and our cultures and our differences and our unique similarities is all part of what makes us people. And we have to remember that. To all my fellow Latinos out there, I just wanted to say thank you for being part of the culture, and thank you for making our country what it is today. There is so much that we can be influenced by. Right now I'm wearing my Selena by MAC Cosmetics lipstick, which was inspired by Selena the singer, who was portrayed who was portrayed in the movies by Jennifer Lopez, another fellow Puerto Rican. I'm actually related, I was talking to in the chat about this to the group of people that are involved. I'm actually distantly related to the actor Cheyenne, actor-singer, who was in the movie Dance With Me with Vanessa Williams, if you guys saw that. So there's lots of cool things to be to discover about Latinos and to see how prominent they are in the American makeup. We haven't always been part of this country, but a lot of us are strong and we do speak regular English. There are things that we can discover about each other. And my last thing I want to say is I'm so grateful to Lin Manuel Miranda, who is another Latino. He is the creator of such things as In the Heights, one of my favorite new musicals on Broadway. I actually sing those songs a lot. The character Vanessa, I would love to play her someday. I would love to just see that show again live. I can't wait for the movie to come out next year. It was supposed to be coming out this year, but because of the pandemic, it had to be delayed. So I really hope they have their theatrical release, and I can't wait to go see it in the theaters. I actually have a friend in that show as well. But it talks about like real, like Washington Heights lifestyle in New York. And if you are a New Yorker or have ever been exposed to New York, that will be very relevant to your life. And you'll see like it's just fun to see the show. I mean, if you were ever in New York, you'll kind of get some of the references, but even non-New Yorkers can appreciate just the very urban, like, telling of life. And that was Lin Manuel Miranda's first show that he ever did, and then, of course, after that, he did Hamilton. He's now been in the remake of Mary Poppins, so gotta love that guy. Gotta love what he's doing for the Hispanic culture, population. You guys might know him as the writer, singer-songwriter behind Moana. The list goes on and on, but that is it for me today. I just hope I wanted to put out some references out there for you guys, so like you can see how much we are in the popular culture as well as in this country, just trying to live, just trying to be people. So I did want to just share that with you guys, hopefully give you a little bit about my Hispanic background, a little small snippet. I will talk to you guys soon in the next video. Please keep on watching my content. I do have a giveaway right now in which I'm giving a Hocus Pocus gift backpack and other items. It's a lot of items actually, so go check out that giveaway if you haven't already. Go check out my Hocus Pocus decor video. I just posted that one a couple days ago. Go check out my upcoming swaps. I have a lot and I'm so excited for those as well, and I'm really happy to be part of this collaboration. To all my fellow Latino YouTubers who are doing this right now, thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you, Christine, for organizing and for recognizing that it's important to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Okay, thanks guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.